breaking down low-rent, sleazy, double greasy pirate radio Nut Hut Studios. It's time for the very first ever Southern...
It's Friday night. Mom's Jimmy. And the microcosm's on the air.
Whatsoever I feel has come to light, and whatsoever I thought of became my life. Just when every day seemed to greet me with a smile, sun's about to fade in. Now I'm doing time. Now I'm doing time. 'Cause I fell on black days. I fell on black days. Whomsoever I've cured, I'm sick and now.
There goes Soundgarden. It's a Friday night. Mine's Jimmy. Hey, it's Revolution Radio.
Searchlight, so they say, but I can't see it in the night. I'm only faking when I get it right. When I get it right. 'Cause I feel black days. I feel black days.
Rock and Rio. No, you there.
I am here.
Good. Man, that has got to be the cleanest snare I've ever heard in my life.
Wake up in the morning, wonder why I'm feeling so down. Is it any wonder when all I get is pushed around? There's talk around town.
Listen to that kick snare, man.
You really wanna let me go, but if you think it's that easy, you better think twice. 'Cause I got something you ought to know. It's gonna be a fight to the finish. It's gonna be you or it's gonna be me. A fight to the finish. That's the only way it's gonna be.
I got carried away.
Oh, that's all right.
So Ronnie Montrose and Gamma off the Gamma 1 LP. Listen to that right there, man.
Trying to steal the race. Every time I turn around, someone tries to take my place.
He works so hard trying to stay in the race. And every time he turns around, someone's trying to take his place. Rock and real.
Let's talk around town that you've made up your mind. You're really gonna let me go. But if you think it's that easy,
All right, there they go. It's hard to let him go, isn't it? Just simply because in this moment we're not here or there. We're in the cavitation point.
it's gonna be a fight to the finish. That's the only way. It's gonna be a fight to the finish.
You know what, man? You know that cavitation point, that moment. You know, there's always that moment before it happens, whatever it is. I was driving down freeway one time, me and Eli, and we were cruising to go do some shit for Nextel. Gonna go install some shit for, there was like some NASCAR thing. They needed signal in this restaurant in San Francisco. So they called us. It was like emergency. We're hauling ass up there. We're in my fucking Tahoe. We're going up the freeway. And all of a sudden, this, you know, we're in the middle lane, the fast lane, and then there's a fucking concrete divider between the directions. So this car is going down the fucking freeway and starts going into the fucking center divider. And they started swerving back and forth and shit, and then they fucking, all of a sudden, the thing fucking bounced, dude. And me and Eli were, you know, I'm driving, this is all happening like right now, all at the same time. I'm driving down, I'm seeing this shit, man, this fucking thing bounced, and I was like, I didn't know which way it was going to go when it hit the ground, man.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing when you watch cars bounce. Like, you don't think of it because, you know, you say, oh, it's, you know, 2,000 pounds, 3,000 pounds, whatever. It ain't going nowhere.
It fucking bounced, flipped, landed upside down, and skidded over to the fucking side of the road, man. And I was like this. It went, and I drove like this. I hit my brakes and I went like this over to the side of the road, and I just stopped there. And the back window was broken out. And this lady started fucking crawling out of the back window. And I was sitting there, and so at this point, man, I wasn't really sure if that car was going to blow. And I was sitting right next to it. So I drove around it, pulled over, called 911. And then
Well,
I got
you did the right thing because
get the fuck out of there.
most people would just hang their camera out the window and take a video of it and not call 911.
Yeah, well,
But they'd be, you know, running it on Facebook Live or something.
It was that cavitation point when that bitch bounced. I didn't know where it was going to go, but it was like everything was in slow motion, man.
Oh yeah. It's when you see a live wreck like that, it's very surreal.
And it wouldn't be beyond your imagination to think that Eli and I might have, you know, smoked a little weed, you know, on our way up to do that work.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, not while we were driving or anything, you know, we wouldn't do that, but you know what I'm saying. You might say we were relaxed. We were in a relaxed mode. And then we safely made it home. And NASCAR went ahead. You know, they got signal. I put signal in the restroom at Culedo's. You had 4 bars down there, bitch. But people might have been going bald in the meantime, you know. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, so Rock and Rio, we made it. Epic Tournament's traveling this week, so he may be joining us tomorrow night after he gets situated over on the large, giant, big island.
Yeah, he's heading for the jungle, right?
He's one island hopping MNFer, isn't he?
Heading for the jungle. He's better run through that jungle.
Run through the jungle. Yeah, so did you hear? Man, it's been another crazy week, man. Hasn't it? It's too much.
Yeah,
Man.
it has.
It's all too much. I got a bunch of shit here. I got a bunch of stuff that was laying around on my iPad left over from the week that I thought was interesting, that I thought I'd bring it to the table, on Friday night. Now there's another thing I wanted to bring to the table tonight, but I think we're gonna have to wait till tomorrow night, so to be able to look into it more, in order to do it justice at this point.
Okay.
But there's been some people noticing that there's words that are going missing, and some unbelievable amount of thousands of nouns have been disappearing from our language.
Now, is that just because people aren't using that anymore and the vernacular is changing, or is this
no,
like
it's because we're
dictionary
being
deletion?
nudged and edited away from these words. They're being and especially now, with what's going on with the fucking technology situation, is that now it's being done by AI shit. So now it can go in and just use a different word to eliminate certain words. So you don't have the words, and you can't conceptualize shit. In other words, just like 1984 when they had Newspeak. They take away the word freedom, and it's not there, and you don't have any way to even describe it or think about it because there is no word. And so words are being eliminated. And then, concurrent with that, I saw this other report from a neurologist guy, and he was basically drawing a direct correlation to the drop in IQ and thinking power to the injection of technology into the education system. And you can see where it's gone.
Injection of technology into your arm as well. I would
Yeah. But I'm just saying, as far as when computers were introduced into school, at first there was one computer and there was a bunch of kids, and then eventually it becomes, into a device to each kid, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And that Generation Z is the first time that there's ever been a decline from the previous generation. So normally what happens is, as generations progress, it's like you're better than your dad, and then
Right.
your kid does better, is better than you, is smarter than you, so on and so forth. But in this case, it's gone in the opposite direction.
It's turning retrograde now.
It's retrograde, exactly, exactamundo.
Yeah, I mean, as Gen X, I was part of that original, when the computers first hit the classroom thing. I mean, I was young at that point when it started happening, but I remember we used to have to go to the library, and there were like 4 computers for the entire school, and you had to take turns using it in your library time.
Yeah. Well, I had to. Go ahead.
And then, by the time I got through in middle school, we had an actual computer room where there were like, maybe 20 computers, and it was a classroom that everybody got to use like during study hall. And then by the time we got to high school, there were more computers available for everyone to use, but it still wasn't like we had computers in the classroom or iPads or tablets at that point.
No.
That was still late 80s. So,
It's got to have something to do with you not using your fucking brain anymore.
Yeah. Well, I remembered it was like,
because they say
it was like Commodore PETs.
With computers and technology, people skim. They don't immerse, and then they skim. And so that they're not fully absorbing any of the information. It's like a lot of the information, you get it, but you get it in such a way that you can't fucking remember it.
Yeah, I mean,
And
unless
since the
you're,
last
like,
time you
sitting
heard about it, a
actually-
bunch of words got eliminated.
Yeah, unless you're sitting and actually like reading an article, right? Because even now, like, you watch a video on YouTube, it's entertaining while you're watching it, but you don't remember half of the information in it because you didn't read it or read it to yourself aloud, right? That's actually something too that I learned over the years, that if you're reading a document and you read it aloud to yourself, you actually have a higher retention rate. So
Yeah, well,
other than having somebody read it to you or listening to a speech or whatever.
it didn't happen by accident, man.
Yeah.
So did you hear? Now I know we busted Theo Vaughn's balls a while back for some reason. Forget what it was. For some reason, we were busting his balls. I think I was trying to figure out where he came from, but eventually I found out that he was on one of the MTV Road Rules or something. Is where he originally came from. So, but anywho, have you seen this piece where he went off on Joe Rogan's show?
No, I don't think I have.
All right. Well, I'm gonna introduce everybody to it real quick. So here's I don't watch the Joe Rogan show. This is like a short, and it's basically Theo Vaughn going into this whole thing.
Yeah, I basically just watch clips.
Here you go.
Is not here to help the people. Obviously. They've been compromised.
That's true.
But the crazy part is we're working to pay the taxes to keep them doing it. And I'm sick of rich people not putting kids over in these wars and shit like that. It's all just a cat and mouse game. People are like, we'll elect the Democrats next time. It's like, but it's all the same shit has been happening forever. They haven't been helping anybody forever. They're letting politicians slurp on kids. All of the money goes to Israel and they're using it to genocide people. It's like Satan is amongst us. I don't know, man.
We gotta get you off those antidepressants, son. You're losing your fucking marbles.
You think I am?
Come hang out with us. Just chill
I'm
out.
here. Our government is not here to help the people.
Joe Rogan says you're losing your marbles, man. You're losing your fucking marbles. Now, here, there's another piece here. I'm gonna go to it just because here comes this dude.
Now, when you get it up,
hold on a second.
You can hate him if you want, but the truth will always remain the truth. Watch this.
Take a listen.
I'm going to make the entire world make sense to you. I'm going to oversimplify some things, but I'm going to explain what's going on because you're confused as to why our politicians seem so evil, corrupt, and inept. So let me explain it to you. The people with the money control the politics. Most of you understand that. Politics is simply money. Lobbying, media, all this crap is owned by very, very rich people, and they basically decide who gets to be in power. The people with the money for the longest time understood they could make more money if they improved the lives and improved the quality of Western society. By improving Europe, improving America, improving the standard of living for the constituents of these countries, they could make more money. But like all things, the pendulum swings. And it got to the point where people got a little bit lazy. They wanted health care. They wanted to only work certain hours. They wanted good living conditions. And one day, the rich people woke up and realized, wait, we can make more money now by destroying Western civilization. We don't make more money by making it better because the people in the West now are very decadent and they've started to pay a lot of attention and they start to do these investigations and they've started to notice how corrupt everything is and they're starting to notice how much money we're stealing. You know, if we could just replace all of them with third worlders don't complain about governmental corruption ever. So if we're corrupt, we don't want Westerners with law degrees looking up what we're doing. We want a whole bunch of third world slaves in the country because they're not going to pay attention to all the money that goes missing. The people who are actually in charge of the world have decided to enact a controlled demolition of Western society. It is purposeful. They have decided on purpose to destroy the Western world. They've decided to destroy our way of life. They've decided to destroy everything we grew up with and believe in and know. They've decided to destroy it. It's done on purpose. And they've done it so they can get more money and more power. Because once they turn the first world into the third world, they then become rulers over the third world. And the third world rulers have real power. Think about this. I could talk about this forever. Does Keir Starmer have real power? I mean, can he walk?
Snowbound and wide high, freezing in the heat, bandit in glad rags. I cool me on the
Yeah. Off the Gamma 2 LP. Yeah, man, that was some pretty clear breakdowns going on there, man. I couldn't have said it better myself, Rock and Rio.
Yeah, that was a very interesting take.
Well, I got a few more chunks of ammo in my ammo belt here too. All right, so let's see here now. This here kind of tie here. I'll just tell you what. I'll tie this into those two discussions that we just heard. I'll tie this into that, but then I have something here on the financial situation I think you might want to pay attention to. So hang on a second here.
A preemptive count.
Hang on a second. Here's what I'm going to do. Hold on. All right, here. Well, I'm just going to start it from here. Go ahead. Here we go.
Insurgency campaign on you for decades. They've been feeding you a slow drip poison of idiocy and immaturity your whole life, just to make sure that you won't be able to oppose them, to make sure that you won't be able to resist, to make sure that you won't be able to stand up, that you won't be able to organize, that you won't be able to fight back, so that you won't be able to survive. Because you're being culled. It's a slow motion culling. That's what's going on. Do you understand? Preemptive counterinsurgency, making you incapable before you could ever even pose a threat. Before things ever even started happening that you might react to, that you might oppose. Because they fed you on Americanism for so long. They fed you on exceptionalism for so long, on democracy and liberty and whatnot for so long that they actually turned you into true believers in that mythology. And if they didn't paralyze you with stupidity, if they didn't paralyze you with confusion and infantilization, then you might actually do something about it when the time came. When the time came for them to throw you under the bus, you might fight it. You might not agree to just be extracted from. You might not agree to just be a slave, to just be a conduit for your money. You know, just a conduit. That's what you are, something that the money just passes through. You understand? From your employer to consumer goods, to banks, to Amazon, or what have you, because that's all you are. You're just a conduit. You work to earn so that the money you earn can just be routed back out to other corporations. You're just an instrument. And if they had not spent so much time, if they had not spent so much effort turning you into a vapid doom scroller, turning you into a superficial, uninformed, manic automaton, then there was a chance that you might fight back. So you see, they had to make sure that you were incapable of that. And you are incapable of that. That's the truth. They were successful. The fact of the matter is they were successful. Now you have almost no useful function whatsoever. So you know what they're going to do with you now? I'm telling you, they have been running a preemptive counterinsurgency campaign on you for decades. They've been feeding you a slow drip poison of idiocy and immaturity your whole life, just to make sure that you won't be able to oppose them, to make sure that you won't be able to resist, to make sure that you won't be able to stand up, that you won't be able to organize, that you won't be able to fight back, so that you won't be able to survive. Because you're being culled. It's a slow motion culling. That's what.
It's alright, I said it's alright, I guess it's all in my heart. You'll be my only, my one and only, it's the way it should start. Crazy ways are evident.
There goes the Stone Temple Pilots. Dancing days are here again, Rock and Rio.
As the evening starts.
I gotta say that was a pretty succinct presentation there, man. And that,
Yeah.
he wasn't using a teleprompter either. So he has internalized the knowledge to give him the ability to have such a perspective. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well, listen. What time is it?
It is.
All right, we still got time. So listen here.
My clock is missing.
So there's a thing going on over in the UK. It's called the Blade Runners, man. Have you heard of it? No? Blade Runners, man.
Well, Blade Runners in the UK.
Blade Runners in the UK. You know what they're doing?
Think like the Blade Runners in the movie?
What's that?
Is there anything like the Blade Runners in the movies?
No, these fuckers are coming up to these poles that have the cameras on them.
Uh-huh.
They're just coming up to them with fucking grinders and cutting the poles down and letting them drop.
Oh, that's great.
It's crazy, man. They're all dressed in black. They got black backpacks on, black masks, ski masks, and they're just fucking coming up and taking the pole down. Just poles dropping all the way down the street. They're like gangs.
And now, is that because these poles have like flock cameras on them?
Yeah, they're just taking them down, man.
See, they set one of them up like so every day when I leave and I drive into town.
You got a flock on you?
They're right in front of the town hall. There's a it was on a mobile little cart for a few months, and then they put up like a permanent pole in front of the town hall, and it's got like 10 cameras on it pointed at like every angle. And it's like, you know, you can tell, like, you know, they're big cameras too, like, so you know they're HD and
I wonder if these Blade Runners are even getting talked about in the UK, because I mean, if they talk about it, they start telling other people start doing it. So I wonder, hey Martin, have you heard about these fucking Blade Runners? Martin's in the chat over there.
Oh, hey Martin.
Yeah. So hey man, what's up everybody? See you over there. I can kind of see if I squint real hard and lean forward a couple feet. I can't really see from here. I know it's rough. Makes it hard to read articles, you know. You never know if you're getting the real information. Now, I got the video of these Blade Runners, but I'm not real sure what the audio is on it. But I'll run it for you over here on YouTube real quick. Here you go. Into the Microcosm Jimmy G on YouTube. Here you go.
Just charge you for driving around in the intercity areas. And as you can see here, they be cutting them down. They cut them down a lot. They call them Blade Runners because they roll around the city and just chop them down everywhere. And I know what you're thinking. There's probably 2 or 3 cameras they get. They probably get a few a day. 50%. 50% at any given time throughout the city of London. These cameras are cut down. That's how high of a rate these guys work at. As you can see here, a whole intersection getting hit at once.
Fuck yeah.
Absolutely amazing. That's what happens when people work together towards a shared goal. We could all learn something from the people of Britain right now. There's these cameras, ultra low emission zone cameras, and they'll just charge you for driving around in the intercity areas. And
ultra low emission zone cameras, dude. Have you heard of this?
No, that's a new concept.
That's some fucked up global warming shit right there, man.
So you're only allowed to drive down that particular street if you drive a Tesla? Is that
no, but they're taxing you to drive down it. They charge you. It's like your car has, you know how you have fast track where you can go in there in the lane? Apparently, all cars have some sort of an ID tag on them, and as soon as you go in the area, well, maybe these are just like flock. Who the fuck knows?
I mean, you got license plate, right? So that's your ID tag. I mean, the cameras can read those. Actually, at this point, the camera could probably read the VIN number in your windshield.
Well, you know what they got now is they got these sweet, you can buy them on the internets, you know, and I'm not selling them and I'm not getting anything by telling anybody about it, but I'm just letting you know, just in reference to what you were just saying about the license plates, is they have these LED license plates now.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Like, California is one of the few states that has them already.
Well, they go black. I mean, they have ones you can put on your car right now, and it'll put a different license plate on the back of your car. And it'll also go black. Like, you can make it go black.
Yeah, I saw that they hacked them. Which is pretty wild, too, right? So
no, this is a product, man, that you buy for your rig, man, you put on your car.
Oh, really?
You control it from inside your car, yeah. And, you know, they also have, I don't know if you've seen this shit, but they also have, you know how you tint your windows? Mm-hmm. And people are always getting busted because it's too dark. You know, your window's too dark, or you got your front windshields tinted or something. You're always pulling people over. They have this new film. It's fucking LED film.
Yeah, you put an electric charge to it and it turns black.
Exactly. Yeah, so they're putting it in, and so you can just, you can black it out whenever you want, which is pretty cool.
Great.
I also saw this Chinese man pull this latex mask out of his pocket, stretch it over his head, and it was so tight he looked like a Chinese woman, and he pulled up his hoodie
and just vanished into the crowd.
Well, no, he didn't do anything. He was just showing you that mask, so you can buy those masks. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it looked like a person. In other words, it was so tight on him, you could see his eyes, his lips were moving and all that. But I'm just saying, somebody could make a mask of you, or a mask of someone, a celebrity or whatever, and do something, and facial recognition would say it's them.
Yeah, that's a pretty creepy concept, right?
They got to do something about the facial recognition. There has to be some way that if there's a camera that facially recognizes you, it's also got to be able to tell if there's latex on your face.
Well, I'm sure they'll figure something out for that, like some kind of spectral analysis or some certain frequency of light or whatever, that they have to put in the camera sensor.
I don't know, dude.
Well, whether they will or not, I'm sure it's a possibility. Let's put it that way.
All right.
It's a possibility technologically speaking.
So this video here, is going to be economy based, but there's really a piece I want to pay attention to here at the end, sort of where this, and I'm pretty sure he's some sort of fucking, I think he's an Australian guy. He's an Australian politician. Who's talking about some shit. And the reason you should pay attention to it is because of what's going on in Australia right now, with what's going on in the world and the Hormuz Strait and all that. And there's this whole situation going on down there. And you got to keep an eye on Australia, because Australia is Australia is the Utah of the world, man.
Yeah.
In Utah, they roll shit out in Utah first in America.
Yeah. Yeah, they test everything on them first.
Exactly. Well, now...
Well, they picked Australia for that. Is it because Australians, get on with it? Or maybe they're more rebellious and they want to see how far they can push it? I mean, I don't know. What's the...
Australians, I don't know, man. You better get a Land Rover and go fucking move to the opal mines. Dig yourself a hole. You ever seen those opal miners, man? They live underground. They just dig themselves out these fat pads, Got all these opals. Drill holes for light, Got opals in there. It's pretty sweet. All right, listen. See? Sweet shit like that exists. But I saw a video earlier from the World Economic Forum. This guy was sitting there saying the only people who are going to be traveling are the elite people. Everybody else is going to be sitting on their couch with a VR headset because you ain't going to be able to afford to go anywhere. Which I was really kind of offended by the whole thing. So I didn't save it so you could hear it too. But I mean, I could go be a miner for a heart of gold in a minute if you want. But let's take a listen to this. Here we go. This is Bull Runners.
Let's go back to Ray Dalio for a moment, because what he said on CNBC isn't just a warning about the markets. It's a warning about the entire system.
In order to get money, you have to sell wealth in order to get cash to get the money to buy things. And so when that happens, bubbles burst. So bubble bursting means, let's say, a tightening of monetary policy is classic, but also something like wealth taxes can happen. For example, think about wealth taxes forcing sales of assets.
Wealth taxes force sales of assets. This is what happens when the bubble bursts. And Dalio says we're 80% of the way there. Now, here's the connection that most people are missing right now. When the bubble bursts, when the debt clock hits its breaking point, the elite need a new system to run to. And that's exactly what the Great Reset is. So listen to this politician describing what's coming.
Would it be such a huge...
All right, here. Pay attention to this shit. Pay attention, everybody. This is the fucking blueprint. Okay, for the near-term future. Take a listen to this shit.
Surprise if in the next coming months we started to see, I don't know, work from home mandates, travel restrictions, purchase limits. We're almost expecting we're going to see fuel rations. And would it be such a surprise if all of a sudden, I don't know, this was monitored by QR codes and government mandates and apps?
QR codes, purchase limits, travel restrictions.
Would it be such a huge surprise if in the next coming months we started to see, I don't know, work from home mandates, travel restrictions, purchase limits? We're almost expecting we're going to see fuel rations. And would it be such a surprise if all of a sudden, I don't know, this was monitored by QR codes and government mandates and apps?
Rio, here, listen.
Codes, purchase limits, travel restrictions. Let's
mandates and apps.
QR codes, purchase limits, travel restrictions.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm staring at a QR code.
Hold on.
Let's go back to Ray Dalio for a moment, because what
this window got out of control, just like everything else, man. It's gotta be reined in somehow. But who's got a pair? Who can rein it in, Rock and Rio? Who's got the big pair that can rein it all in? I don't know. I think he's gonna come out of the east wearing a purple turban.
Yeah.
Do you remember that shit? What was that? There was some book a long time ago. It was a prediction book. It's literally it's got to be from the 70s or early 80s. But
I know. I remember the thing about the purple turban, but I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. That's Nostradamus says that he'll come out of the east with the purple turban. Yeah. I don't know. It's interesting. Simply because the turban itself is interesting. No wonder my video on YouTube is back like 9 minutes ago.
Really?
I was wondering why the chat didn't move.
It looks like it's current to me.
I'm uninformed at this point about what has happened to Bill the Dreamer. And so if you see any news in the chat room, and in the meantime, we'll send our prayers out to him. And hopefully, he can get well. Appreciate. He's a good man.
Yeah.
And, he's got a good heart. And even a couple of weeks ago, man, he was on doing his show on Sunday night. And he was all fucking fucked up and he wasn't feeling good, but he showed up for his show and he did his best to try to fucking do the show. He's having audio issues and lots of people would have just gotten frustrated and said, fuck it, but he didn't, he stayed there and he tried to, he made this happen for his whole show.
Yeah.
And, he's a good dude, man. And, really love and care for the guy and hopefully, things are going to work out for the best, man. Whatever that may mean. All right, well, listen. Enough is enough. You know what I mean, Rock and Rio?
I do. I mean, yeah. I guess, it seems weird because a lot of things don't seem to affect us on a daily basis, but you can see them like creeping in slowly. And I don't know, I support the people with the pole camera cutters.
The Blade Runners of the UK.
I'll support the Blade Runners, I say that. But and it's funny too because I've often thought about like I could go a different direction, but it would add like 5 minutes on my loop around it every time.
Sorry, man, it slipped out. You know what, dude? I declare this Night of the Living Snare.
Purple glasses and glitter in your hair. And you say, hey, this is where I wanna sit and buy you a drink someday. Well, you go into the dark shows, but you kinda lost your way. Now you said I got all this room and nobody to decorate it. So you got some local customer, put you in touch with the man upstairs. But he said, little man, you got no business being all frustrated. Ooh, you gotta rest, you gotta rest, you gotta rest. You gotta reach down and pick the crowd up. Oh, I wanna reach down.
Come on, Rockabilly, you gotta admit that was a good album. That Temple of the Dog album was good. That was a good record, man. I know you hate.
Yeah, I'm not really into that, but
That was a good record, man.
so like I said, I can always acknowledge talented people, even if I don't like their product.
Nah, dude. Look. Okay, so that was one track. Look.
Right.
Look, man. Here. There's terrible shit going on in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Bear with me while I have a little bit of fun, if you don't mind. I mean, give a brother, the courtesy of, a few minutes. Let me entertain myself, and maybe, who knows, maybe you'll be entertained too. You know how that works, Rockabilly? Kick ass, right?
Right.
It's fucking how it works, man.
If you're having fun, everybody's having fun.
Shit rolls downhill, doesn't it? All right, listen. Temple of the Dog. Now, here, I just played Reach Down. Now, here's another one. I'm just saying.
Please, Mother Mercy, take me from this place and the long-winded curses I yield my head. Words never listen. Teachers all they never learn. But I'm warm from the candle, though I feel too cold to burn.
Man, I must have listened to this thing a million times, dude. This CD. I didn't have it on vinyl at the time.
Say hello to heaven, heaven. Say hello to heaven, heaven.
Man, they got Call Me a Dog's on there. This one here is also this. I think this is a good song on here. I'd play this on the show, no question. Here, I think I have played it on the show.
Daniel asked an interesting question in chat. He says, why is vinyl superior in sound if you have a good ear as opposed to CD or digital formats?
It's compressed.
Yeah, well, not only is it compressed, but digital cannot reproduce a smooth waveform.
Because it's a square wave.
Well, it's in steps, right? So the waveform, it simulates a curve, but it's not actually a curve. It's steps in a curve. So think of it like, the side of a pyramid is all steps, but if you're at a distance, it still looks like a flat angle, right? But it's all like a stack of bricks, right? Every little brick has a little step to it.
Relax.
So you end up losing certain frequencies, and it can't faithfully reproduce the sound as accurately. I mean, it's a very negligible thing if it's a high quality digital, but it's still not the same as analog.
Yeah,
Digital
man.
is never the same.
Look at all these, man. Hunger Strike. A lot of these got airplay on here. Pretty intense, I mean, I'm just saying, when a group of people gets together, and this something like this comes out, it ain't, it's not another one like it, or there was something before it and something after it, but nothing just like it. You know what I mean? But it's something about it. Special, man. Special rock and roll. I know you don't like it, but
yeah.
You can't like everything.
It's funny. The older I get, and there's less and less that I seem to like.
Was it just fucking?
I don't know if that's just because it sucks more and more, or I've realized what's really involved in a lot of it, and it just turns me off. I don't know.
Man, you gotta find a way to put some joy back in your life, bro.
Well, I look at it this way. I spent many years in the music industry, right? And touring and dealing with things.
Yeah.
And in general, I had a really good time. I got to travel around. I got to see the world. I got to, meet people all over the place. I got to eat different foods and, learn different cultures and great experience in general. But the actual part of dealing with the musicians and the club owners and the booking agents and the contracts, and, you realize how greedy and how dirty and, pretty much flat out evil a lot of those people are. And it's a huge turnoff, right? Like, there comes a point in life where you realize, like, look, everybody around me is trying to screw me in one way or another, and I just don't want to deal with it anymore.
I feel like Samuel.
And, that's why I walked away. And
I feel like Samuel L. Jackson when Quentin Tarantino don't want to talk about the coffee in his kitchen.
Yeah.
You don't want to talk about the coffee in your kitchen, do you, Record?
Yeah. Well, I mean, but that's why I walked away, and in some respects, I do miss the traveling, and I do miss the, some of those experiences. But on the other hand, like, my mind and my soul are much cleaner because I'm not involved in it anymore.
Well, don't worry, you're not going to be traveling anyways. The only traveling you're going to be doing is with the VR goggles. I mean, you don't wear VR goggles, so that means you ain't going to be doing no traveling at all. You're going to be wherever you are, man. Let me tell you something. This is the hardest ass core game of musical chairs you ever played in your life right now. Man, the world's on fucking edge right now. Because listen, let me tell you something. There's going to be a lot of pain, agonizing pain coming out of what's going on with the Straits of Hormuz. And eventually the rest of the world's going to be paying a price for what's going on over there. So the only thing will be that everyone will point their finger at the person or people that are keeping the Straits of Hormuz closed. So I don't know, man. And then at the point where the whole world is pointing the finger, then it won't be so bad if somebody fucking gets the football, and pushes a few buttons like that, like the Dead Zone scene where Christopher Walken shakes the hand of the politician and he flashes on a scene where he's going, "I am the voice of the people, Sonny." people speak through me. Put your goddamn hand on that screen or I'll chop it off and put it on there for you. And he makes the general put his hand on there.
Mm-hmm.
And then he puts the code in and goes, the missiles are flying. Hallelujah. The missiles are flying. Man, that was some terrifying shit. I started playing that one back in 2016, too. That's the terrifying part. All right, but we made it this far, though, so that's the good part. So that was 10 years ago.
Yeah, we're still here.
And we're still here. The button has not been pushed. So far, so good. So just, don't make any sudden moves, Rock and Rio.
No. Stay away from those flock cameras.
All right, shit. We're coming up. We're going to be joining Ground Zero Plus here in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we better get ready to go now.
The hour already, isn't it?
All right.
Oh, time flies when you're having fun.
It's Friday night. It's Revolution Radio, fully listener supported. Come on down, become supporters.
Sergeant Miller will be joining us a little bit later on.
Sweet. Right back.
Close the door, put out the light. No, they won't be home tonight. The snow falls hard, and don't you know? The winds of Thor are blowing cold. They're wearing steel that's bright and true. They carry guns that must get through. They choose the path where no one
We're hot. It's Friday night. It's into the microcosm. Hour number 2. Ground Zero Plus. Revolution Radio. Mom's Jimmy. That's Rock and Rio over there. well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. Appreciate y'all. You know, during the first hour, we played...
Listen up, because...
Listen up. We played an important announcement, a presentation, if you will. One that I think is strong enough for instant replay, especially for the Ground Zero Plus audience. I'm sure you can appreciate Rock and Real. Wouldn't you say? I mean, we got a couple, you know. Here, let's bring this to the table first and foremost. It's Friday night. Rock and Real.
Insurgency campaign on you for decades. They've been feeding you a slow drip poison of idiocy and immaturity your whole life, just to make sure that you won't be able to oppose them, to make sure that you won't be able to resist, to make sure that you won't be able to stand up, that you won't be able to organize, that you won't be able to fight back, so that you won't be able to survive. Because you're being culled. It's a slow motion culling. That's what's going on. Do you understand? Preemptive counterinsurgency, making you incapable before you could ever even pose a threat. Before things ever even started happening that you might react to, that you might oppose. Because they fed you on Americanism for so long. They fed you on exceptionalism for so long, on democracy and liberty and whatnot for so long, that they actually turned you into true believers in that mythology. And if they didn't paralyze you with stupidity, if they didn't paralyze you with confusion and infantilization, then you might actually do something about it when the time came. When the time came for them to throw you under the bus, you might fight it. You might not agree to just be extracted from. You might not agree to just be a slave, to just be a conduit for your money. You know, just a conduit. That's what you are, something that the money just passes through. You understand? From your employer to consumer goods, to banks, to Amazon, or what have you, because that's all you are. You're just a conduit. You work to earn so that the money you earn can just be routed back out to other corporations. You're just an instrument. And if they had not spent so much time, if they had not spent so much effort turning you into a vapid doom scroller, turning you into a superficial, uninformed, manic automaton, then there was a chance that you might fight back. So you see, they had to make sure that you were incapable of that. And you are incapable of that. That's the truth. They were successful. The fact of the matter is they were successful. Now you have almost no useful function whatsoever. So you know what they're going to do with you now? I'm telling you, they have been running a preemptive counterinsurgency campaign on you for decades. They've been feeding you a slow drip poison of idiocy and immaturity your whole life, just to make sure that you won't be able to oppose them, to make sure that you won't be able to resist.
That's pretty much it in a nutshell. What do you say? I mean,
Yeah, he's got it. He nailed it, right? He got it straight up, just the way it is.
all right. So listen, we're bringing some straight talk to the conversation tonight here on Into the Microcosm. You know what the bridge of size is?
I do tell.
Do you know?
No, actually, I don't.
All right, well, check it out. You gotta look.
It's a song by Robin Trower, but
Right, but you should look up what it is. It's intense, man. And you know the intensity of what the bridge of size actually is. Sounds just like this music now. All right. here, man. Here. I'm gonna play this clip real quick. Some people don't like him. Some people like him. Some people don't like him. Andrew Tate.
I'm going to make the entire world make sense to you. I'm going to oversimplify some things, but I'm going to explain what's going on because you're confused as to why our politicians seem so evil, corrupt, and inept. So let me explain it to you. The people with the money control the politics. Most of you understand that. Politics is simply money. Lobbying, media, all this crap is owned by very, very rich people, and they basically decide who gets to be in power. The people with the money for the longest time understood they could make more money if they improved the lives and improved the quality of Western society. By improving Europe, improving America, improving the standard of living for the constituents of these countries, they could make more money. But like all things, the pendulum swings. And it got to the point where people got a little bit lazy. They wanted health care. They wanted to only work certain hours. They wanted good living conditions. And one day, the rich people woke up and realized, wait, we can make more money now by destroying Western civilization. We don't make more money by making it better because the people in the West now are very decadent and they've started to pay a lot of attention and they start to do these investigations and they've started to notice how corrupt everything is and they're starting to notice how much money we're stealing. You know, if we could just replace all of them with third worlders don't complain about governmental corruption ever. So if we're corrupt, we don't want Westerners with law degrees looking up what we're doing. We want a whole bunch of third world slaves in the country because they're not going to pay attention to all the money that goes missing. The people who are actually in charge of the world have decided to enact a controlled demolition of Western society. It is purposeful. They have decided on purpose to destroy the Western world. They've decided to destroy our way of life. They've decided to destroy everything we grew up with and believe in and know. They've decided to destroy it. It's done on purpose. And they've done it so they can get more money and more power. Because once they turn the first world into the third world, they then become rulers over the third world. And the third world rulers have real power. Think about this. I could talk about this forever. Does Keir Starmer have real power? I mean, can he walk around and randomly point at someone in the street and say, off with his head? No, he can't. But in Saudi Arabia, they can. In lots of countries, they can. In Indonesia and Bhutan, whatever. A leader can say, get him. And that's it. So the first world leaders who have been put in place by these oligarchs, this shadow government of money, understand that if they collapse everything, if they replace everyone with third worlders and rebuild it back up, not only do they get a lot richer, they get a lot more powerful.
You can hate it. There he goes, rock and real.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, is Bruce over in the chat?
Yeah, he is. He's in the YouTube chat.
Is he joining us or no?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's good if he wants to.
Yeah, let us know, Bruce, if you want to join us. So there goes a couple of discussions that we brought to the table in the first hour, and we wanted to re-bring them to the table this hour because we didn't want you to miss some of the frank discussions that are going on all over the world. Rock and real.
Yeah. Well, you know, I think it's, you know, much like it was 5 years ago during the situation, you know, it's gotten pushed to a point where people are really just starting to get tired of, you know, a certain thing. And there's pushback against it, you know, that's starting to show up. And, you know, maybe it's not as complete as it could be, but.
Remember that movie Network?
Mm-hmm.
You remember when the dude's going, yeah, man, just leave me alone or whatever. And then eventually he gets pissed and he just opens up the window and everybody starts yelling out the window.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. It's, you know, it gets pushed to a point where, you know, enough people get angry at it to actually start doing something.
Well,
about
listen,
it.
I thought I was thinking about that movie today when I was driving home. I was thinking, and I was driving past some dude who was sitting somewhere and he was beeping his horn. You know, he was honking his horn just for no reason. Just driving around honking his horn. I thought to myself, wait a minute. Man, that is a really good. What if you got shitload? What if you got an audience, you had a fucking huge ass audience, and you put a day together where everybody's gonna fucking honk their horns at a certain time in their fucking cars, man. All across the United States, everyone fucking honking their horns, man. You know what I mean? Like if you're against some shit, like say you're against the war. If everybody just started fucking honking their horns, dude, at 5 o'clock on Friday or whatever. It's non-violent, but you imagine how loud that shit would be, dude.
Oh, it would be intense.
You probably could hear it from space.
Maybe.
You fucking could. I'm just saying, man. It's like I came up with that other idea where you mail a ping pong ball. You know, because you can mail ping pong balls. But this thing right here, you don't even have to do shit except go out in your car and honk your horn at a certain time. You could probably get people to do that. I mean, you can't get them to go on strike or stop paying their taxes, but you could definitely maybe get them to go out and honk their horns, man. Especially if everybody else was doing it. What the fuck's going on? I don't know, man. Everyone's honking their horn. You didn't hear about it, Bob? No. Yeah. We're supposed to honk our horns for an hour, starting at 5 o'clock. Dude. See? You can change the world just a small little way like that. Just go out and lean on your horn for an hour.
But the problem is you have to have a majority participation in order to, you know.
But see, at the level, if you had a good amount of participation,
yeah,
it's like wireless, man. It's like mesh networks. It doesn't matter if your next door neighbor doesn't want a smart meter or whatever, or you don't want one, because your next door neighbor has one. So if your next door neighbor is blowing his horn, if you ain't blowing your horn, you're just going to be pissed off, man. So you might as well go down there and get your yah-yahs out and fucking toot your own horn, man. You know what I mean? But we're not telling you to go out and blow your horns on any specific dates or whatever, but I'm just saying. If you had a huge audience, like if you could get a guest spot on Jones and went on there and get him. It's too much, man.
Well, all you'd have to do is announce it as, you know, in a certain way, and you'd have to do it as a positive thing, right? Like there's certain things that people will do just because, you know, they view it as a positive action as opposed to a negative action, right? So if you went on there and influenced it to be, you know, I kind of look at it like this, right? When, you know, you're in a big stadium full of people at a baseball game or something, right? And they say, let's have a moment of silence for somebody who passed away.
Man, this is like a...
You know, the entire stadium goes completely quiet because it's the thing to do.
This is just like a fucking Cinderella story, man. You could write this.
So if, you know, or like people do the wave, right? It starts off with a couple people, and then the next thing you know, the whole stadium's doing it. You'd have to use a tactic like that.
Cinderella story.
And you could get it to be infectious.
Coming out of nowhere.
You know, just like the dancing disease or something, you know?
Oh, man. So what's up with Bruce, man? Is he coming on?
I don't know. He has not messaged
He didn't message you? All right.
No. So, I mean,
all right.
If you want to come on, Bruce, send me a message in Teams. And
are we opening up these phones, man?
Yeah, I guess we could do that.
All right.
Shortly. They're not open yet, but
no. Why are you on some reverse speech angle?
No.
What happened? I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
You never can tell. Shit happens. Looks like J.J. Kell snuck in the back door, man. You left the door open, dude. You left the door open a crack, and J.J. Kell fucking snuck in.
Well, that's okay.
He's not pissed though. He looks kicked back.
Maybe he should be.
I don't know, man. I saw some dude walking with a guitar the other day. I was thinking to myself, you know, think of that guy, you know, who's got a guitar strapping on his back. He's like walking somewhere. You know, he's going to go sit somewhere play his guitar. You know what I mean? I think I heard a song where a guy said he was walking down the road with a guitar on his back and somebody gave him a ride. And then it ended up being, I don't know, Waylon Jennings or something. He's like, "What's your name, boy?" "My name's Bob." "My name's Waylon. Nice to meet you." And then drives away. Drops a guy off in Nashville. I don't know, bro.
Isn't that like a Bob?
But JJ Cale, man, he's in there. He's raring to come out here. Dude. All right, so what is it? 717-417-8284?
Oh, yeah, here, give me a minute.
Is that the number?
That is the number.
All right, we're giving it out, man. Giving out the number. We don't give it out. Tonight we will. So if you get through, you know,
okay,
be courteous and turn down your radio.
Phone is officially activated.
All right, 717-417-8284 is the number to call. If you want to get a hold of us. That's what we were talking about tomorrow night. We're not getting into it tonight, but we were talking about how words are being eliminated from the lexicon. Pretty soon you won't have words to describe what you're talking about, because you won't be able to remember the words. Rock and roll, they're being eliminated. And
Well,
now,
you know, it's like anything else. That's why it's important to, educate yourself and have a wide vocabulary. It helps you understand, right?
yeah, but you'll be just like in Idiocracy. People call you a fag if you used any language or whatever.
Yeah.
Remember? Man, it's Idiocracy, dude. How long is it going to be before there's like a kiosk with some fucking McDonald's burgers in there?
Oh, there already is.
I'm just saying, a kiosk with no people. There's just burgers and this round thing, and you just push a button and they microwaves that shit and tosses it out the other side.
Well, they're already doing that.
Did they got Burger King fucking kiosk? Because then they could just pipe out that smell of a barbecue out the thing.
There is a couple of McDonald's locations in rest areas where they are completely, well, not completely unmanned, but they're unmanned to the point where, there's like one guy who just maintains the machines.
No.
Yeah, you order on the kiosk, you get your credit card, and the thing just spits it out the window at you.
I ain't having it, man. Listen, like a couple weeks, it might have even been last week. I was making comments about Vince Neil and like some of these rockers, and like wondering why didn't you just fucking leave it alone and leave it how it was and whatever.
Yeah.
Well, I saw this clip that I thought I'd bring to the table. Now, I'm not playing it for the audio sound quality of it. I'm playing it for the visual. So if you happen to be watching this, I want you to note it. And this is Dr. Feelgood with whatever this version of Motley Crue is here.
Oh, yeah, this is the Fat Vince version, right?
Well, this is the recent Vince version.
Oh, man, look at his arm. It's like all like cottage cheesed.
Oh, man, wait, it's not Dr. Feelgood anymore, man. It's Dr. Feel Bad, man. It's Dr. It's Dr. Go Home and Chill, bro, is what it is, man. What is this? Like I don't know. Here, let me just...
I mean, I could just see from the image you have on the screen how bad he looks.
It's bad enough how he looks, but that isn't really the thing. So here. Oh, fuck. All right, sorry, man. I just, I'll get rid of it.
Yeah, it's sad.
It's all too much, man. Is what it is. Seriously, I mean, the thing is, man.
Like if I paid $50 or $75 to go see that, I'd be pissed. Like, why would I want to waste my time and money on that?
The thing is man, like, I mean, why can't they just go away, man? It's like Joe Montana. I always use the Joe Montana example. In other words, man, dude, you won 3 fucking Super Bowls, man. Why are you going to go play for the Arizona Cardinals? I'm just saying, why don't you just leave, 3 Super Bowls, the end. Hi, I'm Joe Montana, 3 Super Bowls, see you later. I don't know, man. Especially the part about it that's harsh, that's super harsh about it, is the harshest angle and part of it is that you can go right now and go watch a video of Motley Crue when they were in their prime, and then you fast forward to that, it's like, I don't know, man.
Well, even Vince Neil, right? He said it back on the Dr. Feelgood album. Don't go away mad, man. Just go away. Well, it was Girl Don't Go Away Mad. Just go away. But
what was it? Was it his stint? They did that. What was that fucking reality show where they took a bunch of has-beens and they put them on there?
Oh, yeah.
They had I think it was him and MC Hammer was on there. It was a bunch of people that made it, and then somehow they lost everything, and they ended up,
it was like some detox program or something.
No, it was a fucking reality show where they put him on there and made him.
Show. Like Vince was in rehab or something.
No, it had nothing to do with Vince. He was a contestant. You get voted out just like Survivor. But I'm pretty sure they make you go around and do tasks or whatever.
I don't know. I never got into that. Anything reality that was on MTV to me
it wasn't on MTV
or whatever it was on. It was garbage. I hate those reality shows because they're not reality.
Right. The thing was though, I think it was on Comedy Central, so it's supposed to be funny. But it was a bunch of these fuckers.
That's an MTV network.
Just saying, there's a bunch of these fuckers on there. Whether or not you liked it or not, there was a bunch of these fuckers on there, and one of them that was on there was Vince Neil, and it was at the point where Motley Crue had already broken up, and like Vince Neil was away from it for a long time. He wasn't out doing anything solo or any of this shit.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden he shows up on on that show, and next thing you know, there's some video of them, documentary of them trying to get Motley Crue back together for one more gig. It's like Nicky's pissed, and Mars is all fucked up.
What they recently did to Mick Mars was, like I was talking about earlier, everybody in the music industry is out for themselves and will pull a dirty on anybody else if they think it's for their own benefit. I mean, they screwed Mick Mars out of all his royalties and any credit on any of the records. They just basically tossed him to the curb and said, "Here, get out." And it was partially his own fault because it was actually a clause that he had insisted on in the contracts years ago, but they burned him on it. So Mick Mars is, he's sick. He's, a physical ailment that, has been plaguing him for many, many years. And he decided it was time to call it, he didn't want to really go on tour anymore because he's old and in pain.
He was fucked.
And they just, the rest of the band just flat out screwed him.
No, man, he's been fucked up ever since he was in that band.
Yeah,
he's been in agonizing pain the whole time.
Yeah, I know.
When
we said for many years, decades, the guy's been suffering, right?
When I played a show with them,
when you're getting close to 70 and you've been in pain for the last 50 years, it's like, he decided it was time to hang it up, I can't blame the guy.
When we played a show with them, he kept coming up to me and fucking pointing to my shirt and going. He got me the first time. He goes, "What's that?" And I looked down and he goes, "Nya, nya, 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 nya." Hit my nose. And then every time I saw him the rest of the night, he kept doing it, But he was all fucked up, man. I mean, I don't even know how he could barely move, man. It seemed to me like his bones are all fucked up.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
Not like Def Leppard, huh?
Disease, but
it's not like Def Leppard, man. You know?
Yeah, I mean, they carried on.
That's what I mean. Homie lost his arm, man. They didn't just go get another, go get somebody else.
They postponed the tour, and they waited for him to get himself back together, and then they went out and kept it going. Like that's a sign of a good brotherhood right there, right? The whole band paused so that they didn't substitute him, they didn't do anything. They waited for him to get it back together.
And man, honestly,
and they still sound good.
I know they fucking, you got to admit they stood the test of time.
Yeah,
I mean, they still sound good.
Yeah, and even now, if you see how bad Motley Crue looks in their current video, go pull up a recent Def Leppard concert, man. They still sound good. Like they're still a tight band. They're getting old too, but they didn't fall apart like those guys did.
The amazing disappearing cursor.
Your cursor is playing hide and seek again?
Yeah, I can't even see it. It was somewhere without my
wiggle the mouse.
I'm
Then it gets
dead
big.
without my cursor.
If you jiggle the mouse, does it like pop up?
I can't see it.
Isn't that a Mac feature, like jiggling the mouse?
There's too much shit going on my desktop. But anywho, give out that phone number again. See if I can find my mouse here.
717-417-8284. If you want to chat with us live.
All right, I found it.
The phone line.
Sorry for the casual attitude tonight, but man, sometimes shit's out of control, and you just.
Well, we've been intense on things for a bit. There's been some intensity,
I'm just saying, man. Every now and then, you just gotta say what the fuck.
Casual. I think.
Every now and then, you gotta say what the fuck, right? And that's what we're doing right now.
Walk away if you want to. It's okay if you need to. You can run, but you can never hide from the shadow that's creeping up beside you. There's a magic running through your soul.
Damn, acoustic Ziggy Stardust.
Ronan's asking, "Is this Chilluminati Saturday night?" No, this is Friday night. We're a little bit more relaxed tonight.
Yeah, I mean, what do you want me to do, man? Do a jig?
Yeah. Well, I think sometimes we get enough doom and gloom in our lives.
I'm just saying, man.
It's better to look at some other things once in a while.
Well, why don't Ronan, if Ronan's got something to say, why don't you call in, man?
Yeah.
Over there in the chat room.
But please, let's not bring up the golden toad.
It's all cockstrong over in the chat room, but he goes limp when it comes time to call in.
Yeah.
I was trying to play one particular song, but for some reason I got a whole fucking playlist. And that first song I played, I didn't mean to play it, but I mean, it wasn't that bad, so I really didn't preclude it from going further. I let it go on. But anyhow, just an example. Just an example. I don't know, man. I'm sure they all still rock until they don't. But the question is, should you rock until the very end? Or should you just go away quietly and chill, stare out at the canyon.
Is it better to burn out or to fade away?
Or is it better to sit on your Adirondack chair and sit on your manicured lawn and look out over your landscape deep into the canyon below and think to yourself and reminisce about all those hot, great days that you had when you were playing in front of tens of thousands of people? And then all of a sudden, after about a couple years of that, you just stand up and go, you know what, man, I think I'm going to give Rio a call. Get the band back together. That's what you do. That's what happens to people, man. Once they got it in their blood, they can never quit. They got to go down. I mean, it's like I don't know, man.
I still, people still ask me, hey, man, you want to come out and play? It's like,
Are you going to play tonight, Tony? Hey, Tony.
And it's, I don't know. I don't know. There's a point where you just hang it up and it's okay. It really is.
Or a lot of people, they switch up their kind of music that they play. Like at one point, they were hard rocking and running around, jumping around, fucking tight pants, fucking swinging their guitars and shit. And then they get older and they go, you know what, but I'm going to sit around and play the blues.
Well,
and then just start, they slow it all down. Everything slows down. And back when you were running around, jumping around in your tight pants and shit, there was dudes playing the blues. And when you didn't realize was at some point you were going to understand. You didn't understand what the blues was until you got older. And then when you got older, then you could play the fucking blues. Because when you're jumping around your tight pants and shit, throwing your guitar around, you ain't singing the blues, man. You're fucking partying, bro.
Yeah,
but at some point it ends,
true.
and then you're singing the blues, huh?
Yeah, I did go through that. I was very hard rock and very punk for quite a long time, and eventually did move into like blues and acoustic music just because the quality itself of the music is better overall. It is. Right? You try to go. You become a shredder, but after you're done, wanking it, as it's called, you realize that there's also good music to be had in being mellow.
There was at one point you were going to play guitar intros for the show.
Yeah.
And then I think we did it once.
Yeah, I think I did do it once or twice.
It was once, but I mean, it wasn't like a refined thing or whatever. It was just like spur of the moment. We're just like, do it now, then do it right now.
Yeah, I think it's just, I was just sitting around with my guitar like plugged in when we were starting a show, and we just did it for no good reason.
I'll get banned worldwide, but I don't give a flying F. Here's a rocker that decided to kick it old school, play some blues. He plays a Les Paul too, man. You don't want to be jumping around a heavy fucker on you.
No.
it's Dave Medichetti. Here she comes. You better look out. You better listen up.
This book here is from 2013. I have a channel on the Odyssey called Synergy, P-S-I-N-E-R-G-Y, in which I originally, in April 2022, brought attention to this college textbook on human interaction and emerging technologies for future systems. The reason that I purchased the book is because it's an international symposium on human and computer interaction with things like brain-computer interface. In the very first chapter, we learned about autonomous weapon systems, lethal autonomous weapon systems. While reading the chapter to the people, right here on page 6, we discovered that not only was this system of what we saw in a movie called Terminator 2, Skynet, deployed, we discovered that it was already autonomous, it was on command and control C4ISRnet. They were talking about it at the Department of Defense, they were having discussions, and then they went ahead and fully deployed it. January 25th, 2023, signed off on by our current Secretary of Defense. Now, I'm going to read to you what it says. It was a long time ago. I made a sign so that we could read together, okay? Because this is really important that you understand. AI has been running this since 2012 with an update in 2017. There are no positive outcomes as a design criterion to Pentagon Directive 3009, only unintended engagement and loss of control. No positive outcomes, only unintended engagement and loss of control. I'm going to read it to you from within the college textbook on page 6, chapter 1. Okay? Just as military personnel will have to develop and maintain trust in lethal autonomous weapon systems, trust will also have to be established and maintained throughout the law's life cycle. That is, the design, development, deployment, maintenance, and upgrades. Interestingly, the Department of Defense 3009 does not refer to positive outcomes as a design criterion. 3009 defines the goal of autonomous systems as to avoid negative outcomes. How do we define negative outcomes? Unintended engagement or experience a loss of control. At our Department of Defense, particularly inside of these warfare doctrines, manuals, and directives, the definition of terms is explicitly, precisely, numerically specific. The lack of a reference in the Department of Defense directive for a positive outcome for lethal autonomous weapon systems could be a weakness in the directive and should be reviewed to emphasize administration intent to ensure the weapon system performs as designed. More importantly, the military will have to consider the impact on trust when laws does not perform as designed or does have an unintended engagement or experience a loss of control. In other words, when lethal autonomous weapon systems do not perform as designed, it breaks trust.
Sabrina Wallace on Rumble. Sabrina Wallace on Rumble. 717-417-8284. 717-417-8284 is the number to call.
You might have heard his name. He lived
All right. What's going on, man?
I don't know. I don't know why nobody's calling. They're lining up.
I don't know. It doesn't, I mean, irrespective of that, I'm just saying, you know, tonight's been a night of stark revelations by a host of speakers, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You've pulled out some pretty good clips tonight. I'll tell you that.
I know. I mean, after hearing some of the dialogue, man, it's like there's not. I mean, what else is there? What else is there to fucking say? You know, ignorance is bliss, I guess, would be something you could say. You know, but no, but I mean, look. Let me just say, I mean, you know, let me just throw a little common sense in there, just real quick. The thing about it is, man, just on the fucking face of it, let's just say everything is everything as it's been presented. So, we've been told that the fertilizer is not coming through, right? We've been told that, you know, or here where I live, it's $8 for a gallon of diesel. Okay, so the thing about it is this. So this year, farmers, before all this shit happened, they already got their loans and they planted, and you know, so at the end of that, they get paid, you know, when they sell their crops, and then they pay back the loan, and then out of that they make a little bit of money. But the problem is that when they forecasted for the money that they were going to need for this year, they didn't know that diesel was going to cost fucking XYZ. So that means they're going to be upside down at the end of that fucking period of time when they got to come up with that money, which means that they ain't going to have hardly any money, if any, you know. And then I don't know what corporate takeover of the farm, I don't know. But you know what I do know is it's not this year that's going to be, as you know, food is not going to be disappearing, say, in the near term future. But when you start talking about next year and the crops people got to plant next year, all of a sudden, shit's going to be super expensive. You know? Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, you know, if you see that coming down the pike or whatever, then you might want to, you know. I mean, you know, I don't go off half-cocked. I don't go running down buying, you know, storable food every time something's about to happen. Because, you know, obviously something's always about to fucking happen. You know, but it seems like we're reaching this point. We've reached the point of, you know, where things are going to have to move forward, you know, in some way. And for some reason, things weren't moving forward. You know, I mean, if you look at on the face of it, you know, how long have they been hammering this fucking... First it was global warming, then it was climate change. How long have they been hammering that shit? How long have they been trying to get... how long have they been trying to get people to pay a carbon tax and all this shit? How long have they been trying to get all that?
Man, they would tax every breath you take.
Well, dude, it's been going on and on and on for a million years, and nothing's fucking happened so far, right? So this thing right here that's going on, this is going to make most of what they wanted to have happen with that global warming shit happen.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, you ain't going to be driving around. You are going to get taxed, just like we were showing the fucking Blade Runners. You're going to get taxed. You pull into a low emission zone in your fucking car, you're going to pay an extra tax or whatever. And it tax you by the mile. That's what I'm saying. It's going to cost, I'm telling you right now, it's going to cost $1 a fucking mile pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost, sometimes it's almost that with the gas now.
I'm just saying. $1 a mile is a lot because lots of people commute, especially here in California, because you know why? Here's the thing. Fucking people were making shitloads of money in the Silicon Valley, but they can't buy anything in the Silicon Valley, so they started buying shit further and further out because you could buy it cheaper. So more and more people started moving further and further away. Some fucking people drive like, I mean, you wouldn't believe some of these commutes, man.
Oh, I mean, I drive 100 miles a day.
One way?
No, round trip.
Yeah, there's fucking people driving one way 100 miles around here. They got that job in Silicon Valley. Got to drive in there from some fucking shithole. You know, where they built a bunch of these, you know, McMansions or whatever. People bought them up, you know, 200,000, 250, 350, started going up 500. Now that guy bought the, 350 or whatever. Now his shit's $1.2 million or whatever. It's $1.2 million. Who's fucking? Are you kidding me, man? $1.2 million. How in America? Just let me ask you a question. In America, how many people are just running around making $100,000 a year?
Not a lot.
I mean, it's not like
at 20% maybe.
You got to be making you got to make a minimum of $100,000 just to live in America. Just to, you need $50 an hour. Doesn't matter what fucking city you're in. It doesn't matter if you're here or there or whatever. It's they got to harmonize everything, man. They can't have it be $3 a gallon over here and $9 a gallon over there. They got to have it where it's all the same, and you only get so much of it, and you can only spend so much of it, so much money. Did we let the Ground Zero Plus people hear that Australian dude?
I think so.
No, I don't think we did. Here, take a listen to this. How's this sound? Here. Take a listen to this.
Politician describing what's coming.
Would it be such a huge surprise if in the next coming months we started to see, I don't know, work from home mandates, travel restrictions, purchase limits? We're almost expecting we're going to see fuel rations. And would it be such a surprise if all of a sudden, I don't know, this was monitored by QR codes and government mandates and apps?
QR codes, purchase limits, travel restrictions. Let's go back to Ray Dalio for a moment.
Travel restrictions. I don't know, man. It doesn't seem like the golden age, does it?
No.
I'm not feeling like...
Toad.
Huh?
I said it is the golden age of the golden toad.
That's what I mean. He said it was going to be the golden age, man. It's not the golden.
Real golden age.
Yeah, the golden age because he's taking a big piss right in your face. Fucking, look at this shit, man. It's out of control. Literally. But you better not say nothing either. You better be quiet and not say jack, man. They're coming after people. You get a knock on the door, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no more mean tweets, man.
I'm just saying. It's 2026. Look at that. Have you seen that video? Have you seen? I don't even know what it was. It was some sort of a demonstration of Palantir's software, and it was I'm pretty sure it was like some sort of congressman or senator or somebody was like, it was some kind of a presentation that I saw, and I mean, the level of I don't think the general public can even conceive of the level of intensity of what that company can do.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's literally unbelievable. And then you have the golden toad turning around on FISA, going, "Oh yeah, man, we need to keep FISA in place, at least for the time being." Public, it's national security.
Yeah.
It's kind of, because with that, then if you applied the tools that you had available to the contractor that you gave a no bid contract to, you turn that FISA thing over to that company and give them that free reign, then you're in some serious territory at that point. Because seriously, once you have that kind of power, I mean, at what point are you going to relinquish it? It's like taxing some shit. Well, we're going to tax you right now, because we need to make, generate some funds, We're gonna, add an extra 8% on there.
Well, I mean, even the federal income tax that they strong arm you into paying now, right? That was supposed to be a temporary measure to help fund the war back in the.
There ain't no temporaries.
It was supposed
man.
to end when the war was over.
There ain't no temporaries, man.
It was supposed to be a temporary thing for a couple of years until the war was over.
I got you temporary.
Here we are, 80 years later, still in that system.
I got your temporary, man, right here. There ain't no temporary. Whenever you're temporary, you always try to be permanent, don't you? When you come in from an agency. When you're a temp, you're just they can do anything they want. They can fucking get rid of you whenever they want. So you guys get this axe hanging over your head. It's like you get the benefit of
We've had that happen to me.
You had the benefit of having the job, but you're temp. So you can't like eat in the right lunchrooms, You gotta eat outside in your car.
Well, what they did with me is, I was a temp and I was making a certain amount through a temp agency, right? Because that's how they hired everybody. This is back when I was working for the phone company.
Yeah, that's how they hire everybody. You got to be temp.
They hired everybody like that.
Because they can shit can you if they don't like you.
I worked there for 2 years, right? And I was supposed to become, at that point, it's like mandatory that the company hires you and makes you full time and gives you a big fat raise.
Right.
I got fired a week before. And they put some new guy in that, from the temp agency.
Yeah. Then they don't got to pay him.
Got fired for like no real good reason.
Yeah.
Just
It doesn't matter. They don't have to give you a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
They just didn't extend your contract.
Right.
I've had that happen.
They got their 2 years of value out of me.
I had that.
Paying me more money.
I wasn't a temp. I wasn't a temp, but I had that happen to me. I was just joking with this dude, and I just go, "Hey, man, I said, I had gotten out of my truck and slipped on some ice and fucked my back up, and I could barely even walk, And I called in and I said, "Hey, man, and it was right before the holidays, And I call him up and I go, "Hey, man, I'm not gonna be able to come in until Monday." And he goes, "All right." I go, "Well, you want me to come in on Monday, don't you?" He goes, "Well, actually, Jimmy, it's coming up on the end of the year, and we're not going to be renewing your contract." So I'm sitting there. I hurt my back, so now I'm not getting no hours. I'm just sitting there rotting in my house, man. I couldn't even walk, and it had snowed and then thawed and then froze again. And so when you were coming out of the front door of my house, it was a downhill slope all the way down to my truck. You know what I mean? So it was ice because it was snow and then it melted and then it was ice. So I couldn't even get out of my house. I was fucked, huh, Rio? You remember that shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's like anything else.
But I made it through and here I am. I'm still here.
Yeah, you're still here.
Yeah. Still kicking.
Now, in a way, I think, it would have been nice to have the 20-year retirement and the full benefit package and all that. But you know what? You realize that nobody's ever going to get that because they're just, once it's time to give you a $10 an hour raise, it's time for you to go.
When I was at Sun Microsystems, I was temporary. And then they made me permanent. I was in the first 300 employees, man. But I was a young rocker, getting drunk, fucking partying, playing gigs, sleeping in my car out back. And eventually I just, I had a hard time. I left early, I had a hard time showing up Mondays, man, after the hard weekends. So I eventually hit the road, Jack.
Yeah.
And it was too bad because right after that, Sun Microsystems went ballistical. And, I had stock options and all this. So all these people that I was working with, they all became millionaires, dude. I missed it by that much, bro.
Yeah.
Because I was young, man. I was like, I forget how old I was. I think I was like 26 years old or something. I'm just fucking rocking and partying or whatever. I had no concept of stocks and bonds at that point. You know what I mean? I didn't know where Sun Microsystems was going to go. I was just a temp that showed up, started doing a job, you know, when there wasn't anybody to do jobs there. And I did all kinds of jobs, man. I literally shipped machines out next to Scott McNeely. I used to drink beer with Scott McNeely. Believe it or not. I'm like Forrest fucking Gump up in here, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
you are too, though, man. You've been places where shit's happening that, you know, change the world. But who cares, man? Time's up. Top of the hour. We're gonna be right back. This is the Microcosm. I'm Jimmy. That's Rockin' Rio over there. It's Johnny Lang.
Look at the man with a smile on his face. Look like he's always feeling good. Sometimes you might wanna take his place. Sometimes I think that you would. When the sun is going down and there is no place to hide, even in the brightest light, you might lean toward the darker side. Look at the people that learn how to lie so easy. They learn how to lie to get what they need. And after they got what they needed, oh, it turns into a simple case of greed. When they no longer feel the same, and they've lost our sense of pride. Misery loves company, and it's lonely on the dark side. Ooh, I feel it everywhere. It's cold breathing in the dark. Take me on, I'll lead you there. Call me, will you be far? I don't wanna let you down. Slowly, but not too long.
717-417-8284.
You know me, I'll keep you on.
there, Rock Rio? Shit is out of control. I don't know what's going on over here. There goes Lab from New Zealand. LAB. Live. At the Roundhead Studios, Rock and Roll. Alright, listen. It's 12 of the hour. We got an hour left here tonight. It's Ground Zero Plus, Revolution Radio. Don't forget, fully listener supported. Come on down, become the supporters. Revolution Radio, Studio A, Studio B, 24 hours a day. 48 hours a day on Rock and Roll. Are you still there?
I am here.
I barely hear you.
You barely hear me?
Barely hear you, and you're coming through. Your lips are moving, but I can't hear what you're saying.
And I couldn't change it. I couldn't change the cycle. And even as I say this, I'm afraid that I'll fall back into those behaviors. Our government, and I couldn't change it. Our government does not, obviously, is not here to help the people. And I couldn't change it. I couldn't change the cycle. And even as I say this, I'm afraid that I'll fall back into those behaviors.
Rock and Rio, don't fall back into those behaviors, my friend.
That's right.
All right, listen. 717-417-8284 is the number to call if you want to give us a call. Rock and Rio. Now, we were talking about this elimination of words, language, the disappearing, you know. And I mean, I don't know. At one point, I had developed this hobby where I would go around, you know, I didn't specifically run around looking for dictionaries, but whenever I was somewhere, I'd always keep my eye out for old dictionaries. And it was amazing how over periods of time, how definitions of words actually changed, you know, from what the original meaning was.
Yeah.
You know,
there's a lot of examples of that.
Yeah. And I mean, so, you know, they're simplifying our, I forget, I think the number I saw was 265,000 nouns have been disappeared, and they're being edited out, and they're not being written into scripts, and they're not being put into articles and so on and so forth, so they just disappear. So people just forget to use them, forget what they even mean, and then eventually just eliminating them altogether. I mean, there was that period of time when Google was like scanning and burning.
Mm-hmm.
Scanning and burning. Scanning and burning. Can you imagine it? Imagine the idea, like, for example, when they went from vinyl to CD, right? They went from vinyl to CD. And everybody just went to the CD and they got rid of the vinyl. And then they came and then they realized the vinyl was better.
Yeah. There's a certain warmth to analog sound that just cannot be produced digitally. And it's gotten way better, you know, with higher bit rates and stuff now, but it's not the same, you know, and it never will be the same. And it's the same kind of thing, right? You know, the language is different. You know, terrible used to be a word that meant something spectacular or, you know, something causing you to pay attention and look at it. You know, now terrible means, you know, it's a bad thing. But it didn't always mean it was a bad thing. It just meant it was some spectacle to catch your attention. You know, that's one word that comes to mind that has changed over the years.
Well, so, I mean, the thing is, though, man, when you look at it and you see it, it's exactly the same thing as the newspeak.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the thing is you know, the language is being, you know, reduced down to, you know, reduce your ability to conceive of something. Just like that dude was saying earlier. You know? And so, especially when you think to yourself, you're thinking, when you're reading that book so long ago, say, you're thinking to yourself, why the fuck are people going to take out vowels out of words to shorten it up and this and that. You think to yourself, man, that ain't ever going to happen. But then all of a sudden, man, people are texting, right? Everything's, being reduced down to these, short responses, and you can see that is one of the ways that not only the attention span gets shorter, but you can see that the delivery of communication becomes limited. You're only using words that you need to use. You don't need to know any words that you don't use or whatever. And you're just using the same shit over and over again. And now it's just presenting it to you when you type it in. You type in a couple letters, and all of a sudden, a thought is already presented there for you. Most people just can click on it, and they don't have to bother to even take the energy to type something into somebody, a response or whatever.
Yeah, spelling your is you-are. I see that like constantly. Like if you're sitting at I get it. Like back in the old days when we were texting on phones with, number pads, shortening saved, key presses. So it was a kind of an okay thing to do. But now when you're sitting in front of your computer and a keyboard, there's no reason that you can't type those extra few letters except the fact that you're being lazy about it, right?
Exactly. The less you know, the lazier you can be, man.
Yeah, I mean, and not even at that, like, and
that's
and
why
I'm guilty
ignorance
of it
is
too.
bliss, man.
And I will admit that I'm guilty of it too. But even typing in the chat room, like, how many people are using capitalization and proper punctuation?
Nobody.
Some people do. I make an effort to try to, but I don't always. Like I said, I'm just as guilty as everybody else. But when you type a sentence, the first letter is supposed to be capitalized and supposed to end with a period. And there might be a comma or two or something in between. But nobody does that. I mean, I read these like posts on Reddit and whatever, and they're just like completely run on. There's not even like you can't even differentiate where the first sentence ends and the next one begins because there's no punctuation or capitalization. It's just like a complete, like, there is a shift key on the keyboard for a reason,
This is exactly why, dude, I had to resign as general manager of the universe. Because I can't fucking control what other people do. And I'm not interested. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? It's like I'm already climbing a mountain over here. I got a backpack on. I got one of those picks in my hand. I'm wearing one of those fucking hats. I got a rope in one hand and, fucking cigarette in the other. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. You know what I mean? The wind's blowing, storms coming in. Gotta get up to the top of this mountain.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Don't bother me with the details, man. You know what I mean? I'm not prepared to go to the mat with anybody about punctuation. You know what I mean? I'll let it go. I'm not saying it doesn't bother me, but I'm just saying I can't get emotionally invested in that shit.
Well, I'm not saying I'm emotionally invested, and like I admit I'm guilty of it at times myself. I try not to be, but I get lazy too.
You know what? It's becoming increasingly more obvious that, you can see why people go off on the mountain or whatever, and they just sit there and just fucking wear the same, white gown every day or whatever, and just sit there and breathe in and out. And they don't want no part of any of this, man. And you can see why. Look at it. Some people would say, look at that guy, man, living in that cave, wearing that smock or whatever, sitting there, breathing in and out. Look at him. It's like, I'm down here, man. Look at me. I got this fucking apartment or house or whatever you got. Somehow we got convinced that this whole chaotic situation was desirable. And we've run around our whole lives, living that out pretty much, pretty much was just like that dude was saying. saying in that little snippet, you know, at the beginning of the show. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. Oh, Sergeant Miller has joined us.
Hey,
I didn't see
Sergeant
you sneak in the door there, Snarge.
Hey, Sergeant, what's happening?
Yeah, I don't mind sneaking in the back door.
Yeah, good to have you, man. Well, we had to put the deadbolt on the front door, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, Bill Gates got a lot of land down here in Louisiana, so yeah, I wouldn't mind being in his backyard.
Yeah.
2:00 in the morning, you know.
Didn't some shit just happen there? Some shopping mall thing or something, or food?
Oh yeah, man, it's been so much killing here in Louisiana. You know, a couple of weeks ago they had the guy that killed like 8 of his children in Shreveport. This week was that Mall of Louisiana in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
They shot up a bunch of people in there, huh?
Yeah, and the governor went off. You know, Governor Landry, he went off. He was like, I got 12,000 square feet called Angola. I put them all in there. I was like, you know what? That's what it's built for, right?
Yeah. So what happened, man? This dude just showed up at the mall. People just sitting there shopping, eating stuff in their face with food, and next thing they know is they're, you know. What happened?
It was a street beef that leaked into the mall. And you know, I mean, these I call them YNs, you know, in our culture, YNs. You know, these youngsters that have no morals or no respect for others.
Yeah. No respect for life itself.
Yeah, same as the Taliban or ISIS. You know, it's the same. They're all terrorists.
It's like a video. Yeah, it's like a video game. If you kill a motherfucker, he's just another motherfucker you didn't know. Doesn't mean you shit to anybody. Just, you know what I mean? It's like a video game. You get a video game, you can fucking kill 100 people in a video game. And I mean, if you do that long enough, man, I mean, you say you do that for, 5-7 years of your, growing up, your formative years, sitting there playing those games. I mean, how much is life really going to seem like it's worth? I got to say, man, and this is I'm not even bullshitting when I say this. There was this one point when the first Grand Theft Auto came out. When that came out, I played that bitch, man. I played a lot of it. And there was this one day where I was sitting at a coffee house, and I was sitting outside, and it was right by the road, and this dude came pulling up on a motorcycle, like a Rice Rocket, some kind of Yamaha or something. And I literally thought in my mind, I could just run up and take his bike like I did in Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean? So I mean, I'm just saying, man. If you're sitting there and you're playing these games, man. Look, I'm not downplaying. I'm not trying to make people feel bad if they play games. Or shoot people in these games or whatever. I'm just saying.
Oh, I do.
If you spend years doing it, what's the difference between pulling the actual trigger at that point? You've lost your ability to give a fuck.
And the term is called psychosis, where you can't filter between reality and fantasy. There you go, on psychological.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've been playing shooting games since, back in the Commodore 64 days, but that doesn't make me want to go out and shoot real people.
No.
Exactly.
And, I realize that there's a difference between, getting people in video games and getting people in real life. You have, I guess there's a lot of people who can't draw that line. They get desensitized to a point where it doesn't matter to them. But
that's what I'm saying. I'm saying because when you grew up different, man, you talk about Commodore 64. I'm talking about
I still play Fortnite.
I'm talking about when a single mom has to go to work and she fucking shoves these games, and and the games are there just like TVs were there, but for the generations before that. The fucking TV was there. The TV was a babysitter, man. And so were these games. And I'm just saying, when you're in that formative age, where you're playing these fucking games, it makes it, there's a fine line,
Yeah.
And the more realistic the games get, the worse it will get.
Well, I think you're right about part of that too, because so even some of the shooting games now I don't play because you shoot people and I don't need to see their brains explode all over the wall. I mean, to me that's like
that's what I'm saying.
Like I don't need that part of the video game. Like I play Fortnite, right? You eliminate somebody, you shoot them. I mean, there's all sorts of guns, right, and weird things that you do to them. The little reboot thing comes down and sucks them up, and they just vanish. There's no blood and guts and gore, but to me, like even some of the war games with the blood and guts is like, like
man,
it almost takes the fun out of it. Like America, it does.
America's nothing more than an open air prison, man. And whatever neighborhood you live in, that's your cell block.
Yeah.
And you got to choose what job you're gonna work or whatever to make your money, but that's just like your prison job. You know what I mean? And then at the end of the day, you head on back to your cell over there. You know what I mean? It's pretty much like that, isn't it? It's like an open air.
It feels like that, for sure.
I don't know, man. I'm saying it feels.
It's more like the office is your cell, and your home is your freedom in some.
You're allowed to, you're allowed to go to your workspace, but pretty soon you won't even have to go to your workspace because you won't be able to afford to get from here to there. You'll be able to work from home now. You can just stay there in your house instead of fucking going running around all willy nilly, freestyling.
A lot of people are doing that now.
They're going to be doing it even more. They're going to be doing it even more. And the thing about it is, when you're doing it, when you're working from home, at that point, you're going to be being observed by the AI. You're going to be training it to do your job. And pretty soon they'll just go, hey, Bob. Sorry to tell you, man, but you've been eliminated. Here's your $1,600 a month. Head on over there and get yourself a room for $1,100 a month, and you can just live off that other $100. Off your food stamp or coupons. They're saying they're going to ration your spending, man. You won't be able to spend. Sergeant Miller, what do you think about that? Like
the movie In Time with Justin Timberlake.
Yeah.
Where he had the time on the wrist.
Yeah.
That was the currency. Yeah. Basically like that,
Well, all I know is, it's a serious game of musical chairs at this point. You know what I mean? At some point, the music's going to stop, man. And when it does, it's like extreme, it's extreme musical chairs. You got to, can you even be strategic when you're playing the musical chairs? Like, oh, that's too funny. That is funny that ring sounded just like you
know what? I actually like it better than the old Skype ring.
Yeah.
Hello, hijacker. How are you?
Jacker. What's happening?
Pretty good. Sergeant Miller inspired me.
What's happening?
I'm glad I did, Jacker.
See, man.
Yeah. So, where are we at?
We're in deep shit.
So
we are in deep shit.
What it's
my
looking
friend.
like.
That's where we're at.
Right. So this is the thinking, supposedly, of what's really going on, and it's a fight about the petrodollar, and it's a fight about the money.
The
ultimately.
BRICS.
Really has nothing to do with Iran. So,
no.
And the thinking goes is they're gonna hit Iran really hard, knock out their power, drive them back to the Stone Age. The Iranians are going to retaliate. They're going to knock out all that electric power grid down in Saudi Arabia, which is nothing but just a hot desert. I mean, in about a month, I think the temperatures are going to hit, on average, 110, 120 degrees Fahrenheit. All those people got to leave. They're going to knock out their water. and that's going to be the end of about 32% of the oil production worldwide. Also, it's going to mess up things like fertilizers, all kinds of things, plastics, everything. In other words, they're going for a break. And the idea is ultimately that will starve out or choke out China. America will be the oil king, basically, of the world. They're using the Ukrainians to knock out they're up to 40% of the Russian oil production. And then that leaves us top of the pyramid, so to speak, as we go into a Great Depression. So that's the thinking. I don't know if anybody you want to comment on it before I go to the next thing.
Yeah, well, we talked about the potentialities, irrespective of what happens from this point forward. But the thing is that what is going on there is hurting. The whole world's hurting from what's going on in the Strait of Hormuz. So the thing is there has to be the ultimate solution to that long term. And so in order for there to be a peace agreement, there has to be some sort of an agreement. And so there's a stalemate right now because Persia or Iran wants to have what they want to have, and other countries are saying you can't have it. So if they're at a stalemate at that, if that is the only thing that's going to satisfy to make this war stop, that doesn't seem possible.
What I'm saying is,
it does not seem possible. It seems like there has to be some serious consequences.
Right, but what I'm saying is it's not about Iran. What it's really about, and it's not even about the energy of the world, although that's part of it. The big thing, and you guys will know it as soon as I say it, the big thing, at the end of the day, who is going to control the next final magical money machine? Who's going to be in control of that? The West wants it to be a programmable digital currency. The Chinese got their own plan. The Russians got their own plan. But ultimately, it's those three powers. That is what the big fight is about. The big fight is between these three groups, the West, Russia, China, is who's going to control the money.
BRICS.
And so what I did is I interjected, it's every bit of $100 trillion concept, every bit. And it pretty much goes like this. It's actually fairly simple. But right now, as it stands, that the United States has got this petrodollar. That means in order to buy oil from anybody but Russia, certainly Saudi Arabia, Iran doesn't do it anymore, but all the other 10 or 12, major producing oil states, you got to first go, like if you got euros, you got to go take your euros, you got to buy U.S. dollars, the petrodollar. Then once you buy an American dollar, then you can buy the oil.
Yeah.
And so that gives us world reserve currency.
That's going away, though. That's not happening. So number one thing they're going to be doing is they're going to be tokenizing that oil. Number one. Number two, I mean, there's going to be a U.S. dollar stable coin that'll be worth the dollar that people have to buy. They have to buy from the U.S. So it's all going to be tokenized. But the difference there's a difference between the ideologies between the two groups, right? So who wants to control it, or no one's going to control it.
Right. Well, no. What they have to do is I actually pray to ask, God the Father, what can I do to stop this coming great war? And he basically said in just a few words, put them into business together with one another. And so I came up with this $100 trillion concept of bringing these three, Russia, China, and United States, into business. And what they have to do, so just like we got the petrodollar with the oil and the energy, the Chinese have got the Belt and Road. Now, if you want to use the Belt and Road, you got to use the yuan. That's the Chinese dollar, basically. I think 7 yuan equals like $1. So what I said is everybody needs to share, basically, both the Belt and Road and the petrodollar. So I said, basically, you can't buy goods anywhere along the Belt and Road unless you have this new combined currency called the YOU-NEVER, and that is $1. Basically, I think 75 rubles equal $1, and seven yuan
Jacker.
equal $1.
Jacker.
So you need all three of those currencies
Jacker.
to buy one YOU-NEVER, and
It's
then
not
you
how-
can buy oil.
It's not going to work
or
like that.
goods.
It sounds like a good idea, but the way it's going to happen is there's going to be a bridge currency, and you're going to use your stable coin from whatever country you're in. So you'll have a USD stable coin. You'll take that and you'll put it into the bridge currency, and then that bridge currency will transmit that money from that over to the other bridge currency, which would be the yuan, which would be a stable coin for the yuan. You know, but there's the big discrepancy because the BRICS they want to use gold and silver in their money system.
Yeah, that's the conflict. That's where the conflict comes.
Yeah. And so
what,
we got
what has to happen?
Hold on a
these
second.
three have to come together.
Hold on a
Go
second.
ahead.
Rock and Real, do we have a caller?
Well, yeah, but I couldn't answer it because
All right.
Hijacker's on. So.
All right, Jacker. Go ahead. Yeah.
613 when Hijacker's done. Give me a call back.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, but I just want to let you know that's what they're arguing about, whether they're going to go where together they're going to make trillions if they all work together, but the West doesn't want to do it. They're psychopaths. They're insane. They want the whole world, and so at the rate we're going, we're basically looking at the end of the day, as the American empire starts to go down, and they're not able to take down Russia and China. Then it comes down to a first strike, and it only comes down to two players, whether the United States hits Russia first in a first strike and then tries to be the last man standing that puts the world back together, or whether the Russians, once they realize the Americans are going to first strike them, they first strike the Americans. So they either got the war path, or they can go this hybrid currency where they all share in, it's another bank, it's another currency, it's another corporation, but they have to form it. But if they don't do that, then it's going to be war. And we're waiting to see now, because if America strikes Iran, then the world gets broken, and then it just descends. Get ready for worldwide Great Depression. I mean, it's going to get bad. But anyways, I just thought I'd throw that in there, let people know to keep an eye on it, whichever way it goes, and then I'll hang up so this 619 call can come in. But I do appreciate you taking my call, you guys.
Hey, thanks for calling, Hijacker.
All right, thanks,
And happy belated birthday, by the way, Jacko.
Yeah, it just passed. Yeah, I was able to get my 100 trillion off, so I was happy about that. We will see what happens. Hopefully, their greed is stronger than their blood rust. Let me let you go. All right, bye bye.
Hey,
Thanks, Hijacker.
So listen, do you know what happened to Bill, Sergeant Miller?
Yes. Mitchell Buck announced earlier in Revolution Radio host chat that Bill Grant, the dreamer, he passed away in the hospital earlier today. So rest in peace to Bill Grant.
Rest in peace, Bill Grant. God bless him, man. He gave a lot of his life over to getting the word out, man.
Yeah, he was into alchemy, real deep engineer if you listen to him over the years.
No, he's been on. We were on his show and a couple of times, and he's been on here a bunch of times. He used to call in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
He's a really sweet guy, man. He's a good dude, man. Seriously, a good dude. Dr. Rio, do we have a caller?
We do.
Oh, shit. Sorry about that, caller. Go ahead.
613.
Hello?
Hey, 613.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, yeah, I'm calling from Ottawa, Canada, the home of the famous Bruce MacDonald, I
Right
believe.
on. What's happening?
Just a comment, I'm not following the news cycle entirely, so I'm not sure whether the Straits of Hormuz are open or closed today, depending on the whims of Mr. Trump and whoever, but relating to the world's oil situation and the petrodollar, there's a theme in detective literature from Sherlock Holmes talking about the dogs that don't bark, meaning the things that aren't being talked about that should be. Canada, among other things, produces 30% of the world's potash, which is used critical for fertilizer for farmers. 25% of the world's uranium, 10% of the world's oil, which puts us behind Saudi Arabia and Venezuela and ahead of Russia, United States, and some other countries. Why, with all the things that are going on in the world, and these alleged shortages of things which are, we all know are manufactured, why is Canada not stepping up production? Why is Canada not stepping up to the plate? Why is Canada not being allowed by our globalist leader, Mr. Carney, to step in and say, okay, we'll make up for the we'll actually help make it unnecessary for these wars over oil and other resources. Why are we not doing that? Well, I think I know the answer. I think you guys know the answer, because they want the wars, they want the shortages, they want the chaos, and basically that's my main thought is like all of this is all just BS, to make us live in fear. Make us live in fear of shortages. Make us live in fear of, we're going to be starving to death tomorrow unless we, stock up on beans and tuna and whatever. Anyway, your thoughts on the matter?
Could I chime in right quick?
Yeah, go for it.
I got it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sergeant Miller. Yes, Sergeant Miller. Yes, with great respect. Thank you.
Yes. Very, very, very conscious, analyzation of the situation. You see the conflict with Trump, and I think your prime minister, he had a news report, I think last week, where he was bringing up those talking points about oil production in Canada and how solid they are. But the conflict with Trump, being an a-hole, that opens the door, for conflict everywhere with any leader, like with Spain. He talks shit about Spain and all of these countries. And it's like, I was taught peace through commerce. That's how we supposed to do as a civilized nation state. You're supposed to make peace with working with each other, not what's that peace through strength. We negotiate with bombs. Come on, man, it's 2026. Yes. Haven't you learned anything from, the medieval times when we was killing each other with swords and shields? Then it moved into gunpowder, killing each other on the seas, to now we're killing each other with drones and AI and androids. It's like, no wonder the aliens look at us like a primitive species, So I do understand, I understand where you're coming from. And yes, the term is called order out of chaos. The end justifies the means.
All right.
Just one quick comment, Sergeant. Is our Prime Minister? Don't be fooled by him, by the way. He's a former business partner of Trump's. His company that he was a director of gave Trump a very sweetheart deal on $1 billion loan. Actually, his son-in-law Jared Kushner, to build one of the buildings in New York City, something like $1 billion loan. So the whole thing with Trump and Carney being at odds with each other is all WWF. Masonic Kabuki theater, as somebody once said. It's all for show.
Yeah.
Carney is a globalist.
Yeah,
Through and through. He's not a Canadian patriot or anything like that by any means. It's just a word of caution.
Yeah. Well, hey, Thanks for calling, man.
Forces of nature, Mr. Bill, and I won't have it. Is that clear? You think you merely stopped a business deal? That is not the case. The Arabs have taken billions of dollars out of this country, and now they must put it back. It is ebb and flow, tidal gravity. It is ecological balance. You are an old man who thinks in terms of nations and peoples. There are no nations. There are no peoples. There are no Russians. There are no Arabs. There are no third worlds. There is no West. There is only one holistic system of systems. One vast and immane, interwoven, interacting, multivariate, multinational dominion of dollars. Petrodollars, electrodollars, multi-dollars, Reichmarks, Rins, rubles, pounds, and shekels. It is the international system of currency which determines the totality of life on this planet. That is the natural order of things today. That is the atomic and subatomic and galactic structure of things today. And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature.
717-417-8284. Are you there?
I am.
All right. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. Sergeant Miller still here?
Yes, he is.
Yes, I am.
Excellent. Well, man, I don't know. At this point, you can't count out a miracle. At this point, there could be a miracle, but I did see the Iranians posted a map of all the internet cables around the world, which I thought was interesting.
Oh.
Just simply because, how many systems would be, irreparably fucked up if all of a sudden these big internet cables got cut.
Well, we talk about, how the terrorism thing, right? And, how they talk about cutting people's heads off and whatever. But if you cut the internet cables, that would be probably the greatest form of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Worldwide. Not only here, but, Europe, Russia, South America, anywhere. Right? If you cut those cables and cut off people's addiction to Facebook, and even if we've talked about the power going out and this and that, you don't even have to put the power out. All you got to do is stop the flow of TikTok and Facebook and Reddit and all the other addictions that people have on the internet, and it would be pure chaos. that would probably be more terrifying to most people than having, seeing guys going down the streets with swords looking to behead other people. Like, because, those guys you can run away from and duck or lock yourself in a room or whatever. But I think the, I hate to say it, but I think the Iranians are onto something there. If that's their goal.
It'd be a mixture of the Purge and the Hunger Games. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but Iran is doing a lot of hacking. Kash Patel, they hacked his email thread. It's reports that China, along with Iran, hacked the original Epstein files.
Yeah.
So that is some stories to look out for in the future.
Yeah, we talked about that a couple months ago when the whole thing started. That there was rumors that Iran had hacked Israeli intelligence and got those files, and that's why the original bombing happened. So I don't know. Who knows, man? It's at this point, it's a script. We're heading. We're going one place, man. $200 a barrel. That's where it's going.
Yeah. Well, it's and I think that's part of why Trump is playing for all the oil states right now, right? He went for Venezuela first. Now he's going after the Middle East. And after that's done, who's next on the oil list? Maybe it is Canada, right? Because Canada's like in third position or fourth position as far as global oil production. I don't think he'll mess with Russia because Russia's just too much. But
see, when that story first came out, I didn't pay attention to it. I didn't really give it no play because I couldn't really verify it. But now it's funny that now here, all this time later, all of a sudden this shit's starting to come out. There was another story that happened over the last weekend, and it disappeared, and they said it was a rumor and this and that. But there was rumors floating around, and like I say, I can't substantiate any of it. So allegedly, he had the football, and somebody wouldn't give him the codes, and he sat there trying to figure it out, trying to push buttons or whatever. I don't know. I'm not saying that's actually happened. I'm just saying there was rumors about it, and now the rumors have just disappeared, so you can't even see about it. Do we got a caller, Rio?
Yeah, so we're being hijacked a second time.
Hijacker, go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention within that $100 trillion concept, I put in there the about how war is obsolete and how the Iranians basically showed through using drones and using missiles that war is obsolete. Certainly the Blue Water Navy, except for the subs, that is now obsolete. So, and even some place like Nigeria that uses the Iranian model of drones and underground missile bases, basically can defeat the United States Army. So,
we got a call coming in, man.
Once it gets to that point, but you got another caller. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
It's too late now.
Much.
They hung up now.
Could I add to that?
Yeah,
Could
go
I
ahead.
add to that? All right. We all remember when Zelensky and Trump was in the White House, and Zelensky said, "You have an ocean that protects you on both sides." If y'all remember that, so that statement right there eliminates that threat of national security that Trump and Hicks had been using, to go after Iran. You see what I'm saying? That ocean is like a moat to a castle here in the Americas. So that, that's coming up to what Jacker was saying,
Yeah, but I mean, with this type of warfare, I mean, you got a million of these container ships floating around. You just have one container ship, all the containers in there is full of nothing but drones. Just pull up, open the doors, and the end.
Yeah. Yeah, but they underestimated Iran. You don't think Iran been paying attention since 9/11? Y'all knocked off Iraq. Y'all knocked off Syria. You don't think Iran been preparing for this? And
yeah, they've been
remember,
preparing for this for 30 years, man.
and they burned the statue of Baal and Moloch, you don't think they had their mind ready for getting this over with?
We got a caller coming in.
347, hello.
347, hey.
Oh, hey. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey, this is Michael from New York.
Hey, Mike, what's going on?
Yeah, I just wanted to say I really love that Temple of the Dog record, too. It was one of my favorites.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yeah, I loved it, man. I remember Hunger Strike being the hit song from that album.
Yeah, definitely on the radio quite a bit.
Yeah, sure did. Another record I really love was that Mad Season record.
Yeah, that's a good one too. We
That
play
was badass.
We play some
Badass.
cuts from that on here.
It had Lane from Alice in Chains and Mike McCready from Pearl Jam. That was great.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I love that.
That is good.
That was killer. That's all I wanted to say.
Oh, right on,
good
man.
To hear you guys on the radio again.
Hey, good to hear you, man.
Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for calling, bro.
Bye.
Appreciate it. Great.
Thank you.
There we go. Great call, man. See, man. People remember.
Yeah.
Remember that episode of the original Star Trek when Kirk fell in love down on the planet, but he had to leave? And then Spock comes up to him and puts his hand on his head and just goes, "Forget." And he just makes Kirk forget.
Makes the memory go away.
Mm-hmm. Well, on this show we say, remember. (717-417-8284). Remember. Don't forget.
We got 8 minutes left.
Don't forget.
Get your call in now.
Remember. I saw this thing today. Said in 2020 there was a time shift. And now instead of it being a 24-hour day, it's a fucking 8-hour daylight, 8-hour night. But the clock stayed the same. So that's why everybody's tired. What do you think? We got a caller.
Oh, we are being hijacked a third time.
Yeah.
Yeah, a 30-second triple dip. So I set up a trigger on this concept. If you see President Putin, President Trump, and President Xi Jinping in the middle of May, which Trump is supposed to go, it's just questionable whether Putin is going to show up. But if you see those three show up for like 5 to 7 days, and they all meet for like a grand 21st century type summit, sort of like with Roosevelt and Stalin and the rest, and they basically come up with a new economic formula in which, you know, the whole world is basically going to get hooked up to. But if you don't see that, then know that it's ultimately going to go to, it looks like it's going to go to World War and, of course, Great Depression. And a lot of people are saying that what we're seeing now, it's like a tsunami. The water goes out, nobody's feeling it. Gas is only like $5-6 a gallon. It's not that bad, but the water's going out. And then once it comes in about 30 to 45 days, we're all going to feel it. Anyways, thanks for putting up with me, taking my third triple dip.
$1 a mile, man. It's $1 a mile, man.
One moment of madness. One leap into the flame. One moment of sadness, a fleeting glimpse, a lifetime's pain.
you know Trump family has doubled their net worth?
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeed.
In the last year and a half?
Oh, it's too much, man. You can't even go relax anywhere on a fucking hammock with some frost.
Did you hear about the special force soldier that betted on them getting rid of Maduro?
Yeah.
Making $400,000?
Yeah, man. It's literally unbelievable. I mean, I swear to, more and more it's starting to seem like a video game.
It kind of is.
It's starting to seem like it is a simulation after all. But then what does that really mean?
Well,
are you the two words that make up your name? Or are you something bigger?
It's a good question.
Who knows? Maybe you know. 717-417-8284 is the number to call. And there's only a few minutes left, and you never know. They could just roll up with one of these deep sea drones and just snip that cable, man. Just snip, 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 snip. That's it.
Well, if you remember a while back, right, the pipeline that got burst, they tried to blame it on, the other guy. They tried to blame it on the Russians, between the Russia-Ukraine thing, but it was us, right?
Mm-hmm. Was that Nord Stream? I think Nord Stream. Yeah.
Yeah, Nord Stream.
Yep.
Or Nord Stream 2, whatever it was, but yeah.
And check out James O'Keefe. What is it? O'Keefe Media Group. He has a undercover video of that general hub with the nuclear, talking about the nuclear and chemical weapons. That was pretty interesting too. So y'all can check that out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be.
Well, time is slipping away, man.
It is. You got 3 minutes left.
There's only moments left before the end of the show. And tomorrow night we'll be back 8 o'clock Pacific. We're talking about the disappearance of words. Pretty soon we'll just be grunting. We'll just fucking using one syllable words.
Grunting and pointing, right?
Pretty much, man. It goes around in a circle. It's round and round. What are they doing? Circle in the square?
Yeah. The circle gets the square, right?
Yeah, circle gets the square. All right. It's time for us to exit stage left. Take care. Be careful. Remember Bill Grant, the dreamer.